So here it is.
Merry Christmas, everybody's having fun. Look to the future now, it's only just beginning.
I'll fuck you in there.
Merry Christmas!
Oh, I want MC Rye to do like a Christmas album,
Absolutely.
much like Young Lean is.
Hello,
Hello.
and welcome to the Musically Challenged podcast.
Yep.
Merry Christmas.
It's Christmas Eve!
It's Christmas time.
Everyone's in the Christmas mood, right?
It's probably the most accurate, seeing as we are, fairly few alcoholic beverages.
We're getting intoxicated.
That's not true, Sam. How many, what is that?
I've
Three?
I've had one.
You fucking lightweight.
Jeez.
I'm savouring this beer. It wasn't flipping vodka.
I don't know what you're talking
that
about.
I went and bought down the flipping co-op.
Other supermarkets are available.
Use your goddamn NUS card, got 10% off, you lightweight. No, these are high quality
fine
craft
selection
beers,
of beers.
which are very nice to drink.
This is good vodka, though.
Yeah, but are you going to savour it? You're going to savour flipping lemonade and voddy? No.
I'll savour just a little bit of normal vodka then. Fine.
Try and drink it straight.
Take a little
That's
sip.
it,
Here
yeah.
it goes.
A little bit more
Lovely
than that.
sip.
A little bit more.
Swallow it. Get it down you.
Right, Mike, what are we talking about today?
So while Julian can't speak, let's hope he can't for the rest of the podcast, we're going to talk about Blackstar by David Bowie. I don't know why I did that so enthusiastically. It's not
Because you like the album. That's why.
But I do really like the album.
Oh my god, it's a bad idea.
So
very somber.
This
Very
Christmas
somber.
time, let us be somber in reflection with David Bowie's, last release, Blackstar. Ripping pepperonis. That was the least.
Can we
painful
stop
thing.
with the meme
Literally,
already?
like
1 minute in,
he
if
fucking
that.
died. You're not ripping pepperoni. You're a disgusting human.
You do ripping pepperonis for anything. It's
Okay,
never too
okay.
Yeah, not
fine.
someone actually
Anyway,
dying.
Blackstar.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say lots of
One of
nice
the, I'd say like the first big releases of the year. Maybe
It was one of the early ones that were
Boy,
really big,
it set a good impression.
and I'd say to this point, it's still probably the best album of the year for me, in my opinion.
Ooh,
It's not my favourite album of the year because a certain other one takes that. We'll talk about that next episode when it's near New Year's. But yeah, it's probably the best album of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah, we were talking about this. We said it's definitely the best album of the year, but it's not our most enjoyable, because even though it's a fantastic album, it's quite a sad album. Because it's but the fact that he produced this album, it's just like, I don't know if anybody's done anything like this before.
It's like unprecedented how the
is.
concept of the album is tied in so closely to real life.
The concept of the album is him dying, and it's released after he died.
Yeah.
It's like, just
bruh.
like,
it's
damn,
insane.
it's like, it's so like emotionally powerful, and like it makes
It is really
emotional
good.
boys.
It's
And,
impressive,
like,
I'd say.
it makes the songs and the tone of the album so much more hard hitting.
Yeah, it does.
Because you're like in Lazarus, where he flipping first line of it is, "Look up here, I'm in heaven."
Yeah,
It's like, fucking hell, mate.
Yeah, so
Steady on.
his lyrics are quite...
It's pretty. I'm like, every time that gives me the tingles, because I'm like, yeah, you are. Like, bloody hell.
Just gives you
His lyrics are quite
goosebumps,
straight
right,
to
Sam?
the point, aren't
Yeah,
they?
there's
They're like
there's a lot of-
unforgivingly so.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
his
a lot
lyrics in
of-
this
They're
album.
incredibly somber.
They're incredibly somber.
There's a lot of imagery on it, a lot of
And
talk of death and
yeah,
And suffering.
you can imagine this when he's in the recording studio, knowing he's gonna die.
I know it's
It's a really harrowing thought.
it is a
Like,
harrowing thought.
I can't imagine if I felt like I was on, the verge of death or anything like that.
It's
I
like,
can't
oh,
imagine being mentally stable or anything
No,
like
no.
that.
But he's just like, Oh,
but he expresses
well, let's
it either
hit the
way.
recording studio.
Yeah.
You know, make an
Push
album.
out my new mixtape.
Push out a new album that's going to be beaten by fucking Skepta in the Mercury Prize. Fuck's sake!
Fuck Skepta. Yeah, I agree.
That's not me.
Julian, stop. So this is what I say is
Like a
impressive.
waste, man.
Like, I think it's just, you can't not be impressed by how David Bowie has been, like, just sheer, like,
He's an icon.
artistic to the end.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Just throughout his life, just a constant artistic output. You can't not be impressed by that and, you know, like, just respect him completely.
The boy done good.
Yeah.
And the thing that annoys me is when people say, "Oh, you just think Blackstar's good because
he died." Exactly.
It's like that's the point. You
Yeah.
flipping inbred.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Do you
Sam,
not understand?
Calm down with the language, Sam. You massive
It's
cunt.
too busy.
You heffing
Whoa.
inbred.
Whoa, this is getting out of hand.
No, Sam gave the cunt warning a while ago.
Oh, true.
It's
On the
fine.
first episode.
First episode.
Thanks.
If you're offended by strong cunt,
Thanks, Grandma and Grandad, for watching that episode.
I think my
thanks
parents watched
everyone.
it too.
I'm pretty sure everyone who's listened has seen the first episode.
Probably.
Because then they've decided whether or not they're going to continue, which the
And I'm
answer
surprised we're
is.
still going.
Well, we're still going.
We're still going. I don't know if they are.
I mean, it's our
mean,
degeneracy, not theirs.
True.
Right?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
We've got the alcohol. Hopefully they do too.
Hopefully they have a sufficient amount to get
Everyone,
through.
it's a drinking game. Every time Mike says, "I really like this,"
So,
drink a shot.
are we all doing this as well? Is everyone doing this?
And every time Julian says, "Well, time signature," take a shot.
We're gonna get to time signatures at some point. I guarantee.
Oh, we've got a
you.
drink now because you said it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I like this game.
Beverages.
We're just going to drink ourselves. Drink ourselves out of the podcast.
So, first track. This album is worth going through track by track
we
because
were
they're
not
all
super
relevant.
album.
We
They're
were
all
discussing
relevant. They
this.
tell a
We were
story.
saying that, you know, like before we did this, we were like, boy, track by tracks, you know, they get a bit boring for the listeners if they haven't actually heard the album. But, you know, fuck you guys. It's like
Don't care.
It's 7 tracks long. We don't care about what you think.
Yeah.
You're the mental cases actually listening to us talk.
We're the mental cases somehow convincing you to listen to it in the first place.
Yeah.
So that's like double mental case. Yeah.
It's
Whoa,
mental
like-
case
okay,
squared.
squared.
Yeah.
They're like
Right.
double chub.
Whoa, that was
same,
creepy.
Same lines.
So, track 1, the title track.
Blackstar title track.
Possibly my favourite song of the entire
It's
year.
really
okay.
good.
Of the entire year.
Just because of how kind of gloomy and kind
It's
of
like-
occult it is.
As soon as you,
It's very
as soon
occult,
as you
the
hit
sound.
that song and it plays the first bit, it's just like instantly you're in there. It's dark, it's brooding,
The
it's
drumming's
amazing.
fantastic.
It's
every
so harrowing.
It is
And
harrowing.
that first riff, like it comes back later on in the song,
Yeah.
and when it hits, it's just like, oh my god! It's
Yeah, it's fantastic.
literally he has gone out of his way
He is,
to make
yeah.
like
you can
the
hear.
darkest possible song to
Yeah.
start this
Yeah.
thing.
But there's moments of like sci-fi bliss that happen somewhere in the
Yeah.
middle and stuff, and there's all sorts of things, and it's almost like a bit of a recap of Bowie's career in a way. Like I feel like it's the music video certainly as well. There's a lot of symbolism in there.
Well, yeah, that's Major Tom.
Major Tom stranded on a planet and
Thing
stuff,
is, though,
and
I
lots
think-
of confusing imagery that's
What I
obviously
would
to be
say
decoded.
about the reason that Major Tom is in the music video, which is what. Well, I heard from this is Anthony Fantana's opinion, but I also agree with this. Is the fact that he put Major Tom in the video? He wouldn't do that just to be like, oh hey guys,
Yeah, this is
look.
look back at my career. This is what I've done before.
Like, hey guys, it's Major Tom. What he's doing is he's putting it in there because like the whole point of Major Tom is facing death. Major Tom is looking into the abyss.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing.
That's what. Yeah.
When
yeah.
recording this,
Yeah, yeah, no, I
flipping
know.
out.
The artful work of his career has all of a sudden kind of reached this point where it's just almost a real life description of what's going on.
Yeah, it is.
This
It's true.
This song is great because it's got so much like a nice weird, not really symbolism, just weird imagery.
It feels like quite occult and quite
Very much
spiritual in a
so.
way.
Yeah.
It's very sort of dark and spooky and occultish with the whole like
I'm a Blackstar.
Single candle in the middle of the room.
In the middle
I'm
of
not
it
a
was your
porn
eyes.
star.
I'm not a gangster.
Thing is, it's like it's scarily dark, but it's also like fun.
The drumming is really
he doesn't
like
do
that
anything
kind of
boring.
story.
He doesn't go all out like, oh, I'm going to make this disgusting to listen to.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to make this dark and brooding, but I'm not going to make it a bad song. It's still like, enjoyable to listen to.
No, I see what you mean.
It's got some great like jazz elements to it. This whole album is very jazzy.
It is actually.
Lots of
it's
horns.
expressive jazz as well. Like saxophones come in quite a lot of the time.
That in particular, on the second track, actually.
Yeah.
Tis a pity she was a whore.
Yeah.
I would still say this is my favourite track on the album, just because of how much especially the second half when the saxophones come in and you kind of get more of a wall of noise effect. It reminds me of Swans, and how on especially the 2014 album To Be Kind, which we will talk about at some point because it needs discussing. They use kind of really out there, unorthodox rock. Instrumentation of like saxophones and other horns to make a really kind of abrasive, but also it's an abrasive sound, but it's something you can still kind of deal with because it's still based in kind of in jazz. And
the one thing I'll say about
it's the noise. I know this is going to sound absolutely like pitiful to some people because they won't understand. Oh, it's just noise and all that. But this is good noise in parts in the second half of the song at least.
I wouldn't even say it's like noise. I just think it is great. Like when you get
it's nice layering of textures and everything.
You get like. You get the saxophones coming in, and then you get more horns and more brass, and it's just like hits you with this wave of sound. It's fantastic.
And I think the thing with the saxophones is they're quite expressive.
Absolutely,
so, you're just sort of in awe as you're listening to them because you're like David Bowie is in this position, which is quite a harrowing position, and he's just giving artistic output. And these saxophones are expressing things that you can't even begin to think. Maybe I don't know. And it's the same with his voice. Actually, his voice is very fragile, and it sounds like it's on the point of kind of tipping over the edge. Yeah. But it's expressive, and
that's
extremely.
That's the thing.
Extremely interesting.
In some of the bits into The Pity She Was a Whore, like when he hits that high note, it sounds very weak. It's sort of like he's trying to like see the bright side of things, but he's really not, and he's
my fate, I suppose. Exactly. That strikes me as an indulgence. That is the big line in that song, which firmly kind of cements the idea that he's on the brink of death. And he is fully aware of what he's writing about and how like close to home it's hitting.
Totally.
And that line just it gets me.
Shall we quickly go back to Blackstar
very quickly,
because we talked about the dark and like brooding bit at the start, but then halfway through, it goes into sort of a almost angelic section.
A little bit, it sounds a lot more uplifting and ethereal.
This is like, you said it was like Bowie's career. I feel like this song is like, it's almost like him, like, the first bit is him up to death, and then the second bit is him, like, after death when sort of he just I don't know it sounds more sort of spiritual.
I've actually got a theorem about this album.
A theorem or a theory?
A theory. I have a theorem.
Are you gonna prove it? Proof by induction.
Proof by magic.
Well, seeing as we're doing track by track, I'd have to do track by track. Blackstar, I feel like in my theory, but this is just interpretation. It could be anything. But in my theory, Blackstar is bit more of a reflection of all the things up until that point, and then we get Tis a Pity She Was a Whore, which is a bit more David Bowie's indulging and just saying what the truth is, and that's the sort of feelings he's getting on his deathbed almost.
That still feels like a lead up to the next track.
Yeah, it does. And Lazarus,
track number 3,
next track.
Fine.
Tis a Pity She Was a Whore. What I love about this is very showy. It sounds because it was based on a
play.
Yes, and it sounds like a musical.
It does a little bit.
It's
there
great.
Are quite a few elements in this album.
Quite theatrical. Yeah.
And it's just. But it's definitely the most fun on the album, I'd say.
I think so.
I guess. But it's kind of a loose term to use, but I see what you mean.
Even though it's like, even though it's quite it's not a nice topic. It's still sort
but
of, he's sort of being jolly and jokey about.
He's being as jolly as he can be. I mean, he's on the
know.
brink of death and everything.
Yep,
it's hard.
Fair enough.
But
it's true.
Can we now go back to
Lazarus?
Lazarus, right? This is where the theme really is.
Did you see the music video for this?
I did.
Yeah,
yes.
It's quite somber, isn't it?
I might have teared up.
Yeah, so did I.
I didn't. But
yeah.
hey, you know.
It was, Lazarus was one of my immediate favourites.
Yeah.
Reason being,
I think this is I feel like everyone immediately is like Lazarus' favourite because it hits you over the head with.
It does hit
This
you.
is what this album is about.
Yeah.
Which is, I really like it. I really like this song, but this is almost why I can't have this one as my favourite because
it's too real. Almost.
You know,
it's not like I don't know. I don't want to sound pretentious and be like, oh, it's the mainstream.
Oh no, Mike and I have
one,
done pretentious already.
Yeah.
Feel free.
So it's just like not. I mean, it's a great song, but the it's sort of not subtle enough.
I think
I completely agree.
And it annoys me that it annoys me that everyone when you say Blackstar, everyone goes, oh yeah, I love Lazarus.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, but Blackstar's the same, or like not the same thing.
I think a lot of people like
But
Blackstar.
Everyone's going for the mainstream choice, right,
Yeah.
Sam? Lazarus is too
This
mainstream.
is what I was
The
told.
thing I think with
this is what I
Lazarus-
was told by my Airbnb. Yeah,
Is this the same one who did drugs with Bjork and also knows Aphex Twin?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
right,
that's
okay.
one. She
was disgusting.
like she had a David Bowie poster up in her because I just a bit of backstory. I had a job interview in London, so I had to stay the night. So I stayed in Airbnb, and my hostess was
Full of bullshit.
whoa. Don't say that about her.
Don't say she didn't do drugs
She
with
might
Bjork
she
and
might have
knows
done
Aphex
drugs
Twin.
with Bjork. I don't know.
To be fair,
She seemed mental enough. To be fair.
Sam believed her.
but she was great, and we talked. We started talking about David Bowie, and she was like, we just started talking about Blackstar. It was great, and she showed me like, it was she was just like, oh, have you seen the symbolism in Blackstar? And then played the video. I was like pointing to bits. So I was like, I mean, like, yeah,
It's there, but like
yeah. A little bit of over-analysation.
little bit.
Well, to overanalyze, back to Lazarus
Lazarus.
with my interpretation, which is overanalyzing.
Let's
probably.
go, Mike. We want to hear
I
it.
feel like it's this is the one where David Bowie is processing the concept of death.
Yeah, definitely.
That's just the feeling I get. That's why this feels like what people think of when they think of the album, because it's David Bowie being like,
this is it.
like that bluebird.
Right?
That's what there is to
Everybody knows
the next
me now.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I feel like this song is basically him, like his predictions on what's going to happen after he dies, which is, like, I mean, he's a smart guy, so he's pretty much dead on. It's like everyone knows him now. Everyone who didn't know Bowie is now like, oh my god, Bowie's my favourite.
Let's not say that like David Bowie wasn't like renowned before.
Yeah,
because he was a huge cultural icon.
But like you know, people who listen to 21 Pilots and
No right.
Liam, we're talking about you, mate.
Calm down, mate.
Yeah.
He's gonna storm in now and get angry, isn't
We're not
he?
just talking about Liam.
Well,
Though we are talking.
Liam
about
is included, isn't he?
Cuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fantastic song. Also,
I think so.
Again, just like Blackstar, the sort of instrumentation on it is
It's so well
just
done.
sad and somber. Like that first
guitar note. Yeah. I agree.
I love the. I think it's saxophone again.
Yeah, I think
there is. Yeah.
And there's a lot of crashing cymbals in this as well.
That's just
Towards
And the
back.
drumming is very, very steady and almost kind of
Yeah.
slow and dirgy and funeral.
See, I really like the drumming in this album.
It sets the tone
because
so
there's
well.
parts where it's just constant, continuous, and then parts where it builds up to crashing cymbals, and then eventually begins to start falling apart and stuff, and the jazz elements come in.
Yeah.
It's so well done.
I guess, despite my love for Tis Pity Was a Whore, Lazarus still kind of resides in the kind of emotional part of my brain whenever I listen to this. Just because the emotional impact of it is it's off the charts. Let's be perfectly honest.
That's why
just how relevant it is to everything that's happened this year.
That's why I think this is the sort of reasons why I think this album is the best of the year.
Yeah, sure.
Just it's so
nothing's had quite an emotional impact as this.
It's been just such relevant. A big moment in 2016. This album has
exactly because I'm sure if you were to ask someone like, oh, who died in 2016, they would immediately say David Bowie.
Yeah.
That's the one name that they pluck out of the air.
Yeah.
Not to disrespect everyone else who's obviously Leonard Cohen and those other guys, but Snape, Alan Rickman as well.
I just remember Gene Wilder died.
Gene Wilder, of course. The music makers.
And
we are the dreamers of dreams.
To be honest,
shout out to
Alan Rickman was the one that hit me hard. It's just like I love Die Hard, and I watch. I don't like him, but I watch
Harry Potter.
Well, it's Christmas time. Die Hard is going to be on rotation.
That's my favourite Christmas movie. Die Hard.
It's Christmas time. That's my favourite Christmas movie.
Alan Rickman was the one solid actor throughout all of the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Because you all know that flipping what's his name? The guy who played Harry Potter. Daniel
Radcliffe.
Couldn't act until like the 6th movie. Like, not even that.
They gave him 6 tries.
Someone totally developed like envy for fucking Ron, who then ended up getting off with Emma Watson in whatever film it was.
Yeah.
That was the point at which it was like, oh, I've got to actually make my money somehow now.
Marcus Brigstock was slightly quicker at learning how to act.
See, I love Marcus Brigstock. Yeah. I've seen him live.
Wait, no, not
he's a funny guy.
What am I talking about? Marcus Brigstock.
Marcus Brigstock's a great guy.
Yeah,
let's not discount that.
I thought I was thinking of the guy who plays Ron. I'm thinking Rupert
Grint. How do you confuse those two?
I don't know.
One of them is like 6'5" and has glasses and black hair.
King Stupid. I've seen him live a couple of times. Marcus Brigstock's great. I'm talking about Rupert Grint.
Back to Blackstar, maybe?
Should we go back to Blackstar?
But like Ronald Weasley.
Should we do Ronald Weasley or...
Yeah.
No, let's not.
Let's do Sewer in a Season of Crime.
Orange Star.
Sewer in a Season of Crime. This is another one of my favourites on the album, just because of how kind of away from the like original Bowie style it was. Like, I'm not discrediting the original Bowie style of like the kind of artful rock songs that he did.
Yeah.
But like it almost gets to like drum and bass levels at some point, where towards the end you get a really, really intense kind of electronic bass line, where it builds up towards the end and it all explodes.
Do you know what? I believe
he had
this song. He had this song on there was like an album he released to sort of not a full album, but it was like a few
just an
hits
EP
from the
or
past,
something.
And it had this on it. And the song was mostly the same right up until the end.
Yeah.
Whereas on this album, you have those elements that are like really heavy, like you said, almost drum and bass.
Sure,
like the sort of, it's got the feel of like the sort of heavy thing that Arca did with Bjork's newest album. It's that sort of thing. Just really
calm down, mate. I can't contain myself.
Yeah. So like that comes in on this track, and it's just so. Like,
it is, and his vocals as well, they match it, because at the end, by the end, he's really, really emotional. Everything. So
like
goodbye, whatever.
Yeah,
it's really intense.
It is intense.
It's hard hitting. All of these songs.
These songs are hard
hitting. Hit you right here.
The next
one, he doesn't hold up.
Do you know the next one is probably my favourite off the album?
Where the fuck did Monday go?
Go. And the echoes.
Good fucking meme. So he did die, so there's that to consider as well.
Oh, okay. But this track, a lot of the lyrics are like other than where the fuck did Monday go, and I'm sitting in the chestnut tree. Who the fuck's gonna mess with me?
From what I've heard, a lot of the lyrics from this line are actually adapted from like gay slang terms. Because of course
they're adapted from two places.
David Bowie was homosexual.
Yeah.
And let's not hold that against him because why would you?
It's bisexual and stuff. But yeah, so the language in this track is adapted from two sources. There's a language called Polari, which is the sort of slang used by British actors and the homosexual community.
Right, yeah.
And then there's also this second language called Nadsat, which is a made-up language that the teens used in Clockwork Orange.
In Clockwork Orange?
Clockwork Orange.
Oh, okay.
So this song is a mix of those two languages, the lyrics.
Okay.
Which is quite interesting. And the way it comes off...
Clockwork Orange connection, actually.
No, yeah. It's an interesting connection, isn't it? And it's, very British connection, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
very artsy connection.
Very artsy.
Oh, of course.
But the way that this song comes off is almost like... It's the sort of, I don't know, just David Bowie's... Like, it just feels like he's on his deathbed and he can't express things. It's like the confusion of the moment.
He fits into that community. I can imagine him absolutely loving A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
His kind of film.
I think so.
The old ultra.
I mean, if you like Death Grips,
yeah. He likes Clockwork Orange.
Not until recently, Clockwork Orange was like illegal to watch here.
I know,
just
in the UK.
How kind of X-rated it was.
Yeah. Jeez. People got triggered hard.
Fucking. Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, this is probably my favourite moments on the album.
Was Clockwork Orange still illegal when Serbian film was legal?
I really don't know. But I don't want to think about Serbian film because just
let's not do that.
That's a step. No, I haven't, and for a good reason.
Yeah.
I've read the synopsis on IMDb. I've read the parents' guide.
Yeah,
it's like the strictest parents' guide I've ever written. Yeah. I've ever read. Sorry.
Why would you get a parents' guide to Serbian film?
Just in case their kids need advice on how to take the film and the messages portrayed by it. You know. Don't watch this.
Stay away. Like, oh, little Timmy, here you go. It's a Serbian film. There you go.
If you have any questions, ask Daddy. I'm sure he'll be able to answer anything you may want to know.
I didn't understand the end of the film. Well, basically, the man had to have sex with his newly born child, and then they decided that it wasn't suitable to live. So they all killed themselves.
Yeah, it's true.
Just like this podcast, the killing themselves bit, obviously, not the other bits. But anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, Julian.
I'm keeping my newly born child away from Julian.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Jesus.
I'm implying nothing.
So anyway, like back to Girl Loves Me. Yeah. Like I said, one of my favourite moments on the album. It's just so dark and trippy almost, this song. Like the drums are a bit trippy and it's kind of got a bit of a sexy layer as well in a weird way. Like,
it does. It feels oddly kind of
it's comforting. Like got a swagger to it.
Yeah,
and it's like a comforting,
I see what you mean.
Like, oh, I'm in the chestnut tree. Who's gonna fuck me?
Yeah.
It's
a swag.
It's unapologetically Bowie, and I think it's fantastic because of that.
Yeah,
that's what I'd say to summarise it. And it's just fantastic. And then we get to the next song, which is this fits into my theory. Dollar Days.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the song where Bowie's trying to express himself passing away. So I feel like, I mean, certainly with the last track, we'll get to it, is a bit more of a reflection on him and his career.
Yeah.
And his legacy. This track I feel like is like the moment's coming, sort of. That's how the feeling I get sometimes when I listen to it.
Moment.
And it's quite blunt with the lyrics, as with the rest of it. Like, he's trying to, and he's dying to. He literally uses that as a metaphor. And it's just these waves of things that he doesn't understand.
Yeah, I think, I guess it's his almost the title is kind of a reflection on his career, effectively.
It is, very much.
He was just trying to portray whatever messages he wanted to portray.
Yeah.
And it just turned into something where he was like very popular and that kind of thing. That's not like his kind of motive in the whole thing.
No. Well, that fits into the next track actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
With this one, it has one of my favourite lyrics.
I can't give everything away.
That's the next track, but yeah. But it was one of my favourite lyrics, which is he might never see the English evergreens he's running to.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like that's just like it's so poignant. I love it, and it's just like so unbelievably Bowie.
It's so sad.
It is.
This album is so sad.
As much as.
But do you know what? This is
it's just.
This feels like the track, like I said, where he is, passing on.
Yeah.
And
he's accepted it by this point.
And he's accepted it as well. And he's just trying to find, I suppose, the beauty in it all. And there is beauty in it.
There is, yeah. He's leaving on a high. Let's not forget that.
Yeah. Totally.
This is his last album, he's not leaving us with some half-assed, commercially based kind of thing. This is
an artistic expression.
Exactly.
He's not leaving us with the new Blink 182 album.
No, he certainly is not.
He's nominated for a Grammy.
Hey,
did it?
For the best rock album
of the year.
2016 was a bad year.
Fuck 2016!
No.
Anyway.
No. Fuck the Grammys.
Fuck the Grammys.
But they did nominate Dram, and I hope he wins. Because I want to see his acceptance speech.
He'll be a happy boy.
He's not going to mention that line from the song, though, is he?
What? Dare we?
Sure, we'll go with that.
Oh.
That one!
Dare we? Yeah.
So let's quickly go on to the last track.
Yeah.
So this one is...
Give everything away.
This is quite a warm track.
Yeah.
It feels oddly comforting, like the one a few previous. It's It's odd. It's got a kind of...
like warm drumming and synths on it, and it's like a sort
It's not too intense or overly emotional until you realise that it's the last song on the album. It ends kind of.
It's sort of.
Very emotionally, to be honest.
It is serene.
It's a peaceful end.
I think so.
Definitely.
And I think it's a reflection very much on... This is a reflection on Bowie's career, and he's saying things like you were mentioning in the last track about, he didn't necessarily intend for any of this, like, big icon stuff that he's become.
Exactly, but he was very proud. He's proud of everything, and he's got every right to be.
He is, yeah. And he, the main message is he can't give everything away. He's trying and trying right till the end to be artistic and express everything that there is.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he's saying, I can't do that, but he's done a bloody good job.
He's done.
That's what I can say. Honestly. So you can only admire Bowie, really, for this whole album and his whole career.
What I also love about this song is it just it's just a nice. For me, this song feels like if we were to follow your sort of theory.
Yeah.
It's like this one feels like his passing.
Definitely.
It's like very slow, just keeps.
Yeah,
it's more calm than the rest, I guess. Like Sam said, it's serene. It's kind of him almost passing away in peace and without turmoil and anything else. It suits it.
Goes. And it's a very good end to a
it is
very sad album.
Would it be disrespectful of me to say it is my least favourite song on the album? Because I don't think it develops quite as much like instrumentally as the rest.
No, I think...
and the emotion I feel through it isn't quite as much as some of the others.
You're not
That's the
wrong,
thing.
But
when I was listening to it, it's just like he just it's sort of he keeps going. I can't give everything away, and keeps going. And this is why I feel like this is him, sort of just it's slowing everything down. It's just ending.
I think it's apt though. I think the whole album as it is I couldn't say it's not perfect. It is perfect from what I can see.
It is
as an expression, and so is this last track. It's not the most instrumentally strong.
No, but the emotion and the message is there.
Yeah, and it doesn't need to say anything more than he can't give everything away. That's enough, and it's poignant. So.
That's what he's taught us throughout his career.
Yeah,
this is the perfect way to end on it.
I feel like another sort of thing you could take from that is like I can't give everything away is sort of saying, I can't always keep producing music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm going to be dead before this.
Somber end to everything.
Yeah.
I think it ends the album off perfectly. So
this album was released on his birthday, wasn't it?
Was it near that?
I think it was released exactly on his birthday, which. I was thinking about it on the bus the other day, and I was like, let's think of a really pretentious, theory on why it was released on his birthday.
As you do,
and it's like, this is almost like this album is like his rebirth.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
might not be wrong.
Like immortalises him. Like
he's been immortalised in history.
Of course.
Yeah. Let's not forget that.
This is a reflection
he's been.
Yeah, and it's just it's just a fantastic album. The only criticisms I could have about it is like the release of the album is what I think could have been even more powerful.
Yeah,
is if he hadn't have released singles before he died.
Yeah, okay. That's
and then
I see what you mean. So the power would have been there.
Imagine if he released Lazarus like the day he died.
Yeah, sure.
What if that happened and everyone goes, oh my god, Bowie's dead, and then everyone sees,
oh
my god, Bowie's released a new single, and it starts, look up here, I'm in heaven. That would have been like one of the most powerful moments in music possible
ever.
I remember,
like fuck off, Godspeed, for a second.
Yeah.
Don't you dare say that around me, boy. Right?
But you know what? This album comes close to it anyway.
I agree.
Fuck off, Gonial. This is fantastic.
Like this album comes close to that sort of moment anyway, in terms of sheer artistic expression.
And like, even though I really hadn't listened to that much Bowie before he died. Like, this is Blackstar is the first full Bowie album I've listened to fully. Yeah. Like, obviously I've listened to Bowie songs.
Yeah.
Saw him in Labyrinth, did great in that.
Good ad.
And like, but I was like, this has to be listened to, and this is just.
It's
like,
a momentous
even if Bowie didn't mean like the world to you, you've got to look at this album and think like this is like just a fantastic work of art. This is
absolutely.
This is like no one has done this before, and he was incredibly brave to do.
I don't think anyone in this year or any year before has reached the kind of artistic vision
that's
that
why
this
I say
album
this
has.
album has to be the best. It is the best this year. It just
usually
simply is the best.
I can accept that completely.
Usually, when you think, "Oh, I'm gonna die," you go like, "All right, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my life. I'm gonna go on a cruise, gonna see the world." No, he was like, "Let's get in the goddamn
a little journey."
Exactly, and he was like, "No, let's get in the studio. Let's make a flipping bomb-ass album. Release it after I'm dead, and no one will ever forget me. Please, God, no one forget him, please."
Round of applause for David Bowie for the artistic intent.
Well done, good lad.
It was absolutely amazing.
I hope he wins a shit ton of Grammys.
Oh, he's gonna,
because he's up against like Beyonce and a lot of them. I really hope.
You know,
I've heard good things about the Beyonce album.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah, but you know,
it's David Bowie.
Yeah, but then again, she's not fucking dead, is
exactly.
she? Yeah. Like, you know, she can get him next year. Right? He can get him now.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so
I think
that's all needs to be said about this thing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Go listen to it.
Yeah.
It's just
and prepare yourself.
Music history. It's just
you're gonna cry. Yeah. If you haven't cried yet this year, you're gonna cry.
Yeah. Well, you know, I didn't cry to it because I'm a big manly man. Got nothing to steal. But
all those muscles built up from bouldering every week.
Boy, I'm fucking tan.
So what are we talking about next week, guys?
Next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Wow, it's gonna
next week. It's gonna be.
Everyone enjoy your Christmas.
Eve,
New Year's Eve.
So
we're gonna wrap up all of our favourite stuff from this year.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be
wrap up. Like
are we gonna do a full hour episode?
We're gonna do a full hour episode, boy.
God. I got an hour and a half left before I can go to bed.
It's gonna be proper. It's gonna be good. We hope you join us.
Yeah.
Have a happy Christmas.
It's not gonna be.
Hope you get everything you wanted.
It's not going to be very structured. We're just going to have a chat about, you know, notable things that came out this year and what we liked.
Exactly.
It's going to be. It's going to be great fun. And, you know, who needs to go to a New Year's Eve party when you can listen
talking about music?
Listen to us.
We certainly won't be going to New Year's Eve.
Hell no.
We're computer science.
I don't get it. Invited to parties.
All right.
See you then.
Bye.
Have a nice Christmas.
Ho ho ho.
Ciao.